हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, and with pranams to all of you. Thank you very much for joining in for our Srimad Bhagavatam study session today. So let's start with prayers. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parjana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradhayate Krishna Chaitanya Namni Gaur Dushe Namah Panchatatvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhaktashaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavanishwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Namo Pankajanabhaya Namo Pankajamaline Namo Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangraye Pahi Pahi Mahayogin Deva Deva Jagatpate Nanyam Dvadavayam Pashe Yatra Mrityu Parasparam Krishna Krishna Mahabaho Bhaktanam Abhayankara Tvameko Dhayyamananam Apavargosi Samshrute. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you very much for joining in for our Srimad Bhagavatam study session today. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanyameshwaram. Hari Om Tatsat. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you very much for joining in for our third session of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So today we will be studying 1.1.3 and we have Sarva Gopi Shri Mataji all ready with her camera on. She wants to start the session with 1.1.2. So over to you, Mataji. Please go ahead.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dharma Prochita Kaitavo Atra Paramo Nirmasaranam Satam. Vedyam Vastavam Atra Vastu Sivadam Tapa Triyormulanam. Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Kite Kimva Pariyeshwaraha. Sadhyo Hridi Avarudyate Atra Kritibhigi Sushubhigi Dakshanat. Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol. Mataji, you want to explain the translation?
The Bhagavata Purana is, I am not that much fluent in English. Okay. It is not everything.
Quite a long verse. Yeah.
Yeah, it is not everything in this. All the religions that are how to prepare everything is in Bhagavata Purana. And if you study that
Mataji, 1 second, Mataji. I'm not able to hear you. 1 second. 1 second. Oh, 1 second. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, in this so many religious activities that people are doing, but this studying Bhagavata Purana is the ultimate source for the devotional service. That was explained by Vyasadeva when he was in a maturity stage and he prepared all these things. There is no scripture other than Bhagavatam is necessary for advancing any spiritual activities. So the Supreme Lord, when you study the Bhagavatam, the Supreme Lord automatically comes into your heart. Immediately he will come into your heart. Hare Krishna, Mataji, a little bit only.
Yes. Thank you, Mataji. Very, very wonderful. Yeah. So, that kshanat means like immediate, instantly. Simply the studying of Srimad Bhagavatam will actually immediately rise Krishna Prema in our hearts, right? But, we've been reading Bhagavatam for so long. Why is it that we have not attained Krishna Prema already, isn't it? It depends on how much we are realizing in our heart, how much we strongly believe, right? Katwang Maharaj, he went back to Godhead in a second, simply by remembering Krishna, chanting Krishna's name, went back. We've been chanting for many, many years, but unfortunately, we've still not attained that stage of Krishna Prema. So the Acharyas explain that, how much of faith we have in what we are studying, in what we are reading, in what we are hearing from our gurus, right? The moment we have faith, even one holy name is enough. Even one time, attentively and submissively, we hear the message of Srimad Bhagavatam, the Supreme Lord is already established within our heart and we are already experiencing Krishna Prema. Right? Shubi Takshanat. Right? So without any delay, right? So, but what is the essential thing here? The essential thing here is to be submissive, to be humble, and to study Srimad Bhagavatam with faith, right? And one more important point that's also covered here is not having any other desire, right? It should not be any for any kaitava dharma reason, right? Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. It should be beyond our desire for anything material, right? And liberation also, even liberation is considered to be a material sense gratification. Why? Because in liberation also, we say that I am only in the center. I want to get relieved of material miseries. I want to attain liberation. I want to get out of the pangs of the material miseries. So I very difficult to get Krishna prema. Maybe the maximum what we can get is probably merge into Brahman, and then after some time, since that is not sustainable, we will again fall down to do some philanthropic activities, to do some activities of charity, to open some temples, to open some hospitals, to open some schools, like that. Why? Because there is no relationship even in the merging of the Brahman. In merging with Brahman, there is no service. There is no opportunity to render service to the Supreme Lord, and hence there is no bliss in the heart. So in this way, when Srimad Bhagavatam is heard submissively with humility, then, there is no need for any other method, right? And of course, we know that in this age of Kali, chanting Hare Krishna is the most important activity, and studying Srimad Bhagavatam facilitates our improving our taste in chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, right? So that is 1.1.2, right? Kaitava Dharma. We need to give up the Kaitava Dharma of Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, and then we need to rise above the three modes of material nature here with faith and with humility and with submissiveness. This message of Srimad Bhagavatam from our gurus. Okay, now we have Anusha Mataji also very eagerly waiting to hear 1.1.3 because it is her chance next week. I'm very, feeling very enthusiastic seeing all of your enthusiasm, especially in the month of Kartik. It's really wonderful that devotees are coming up to recite the verses, recite the translation or to explain the meaning of the verses. All of this will help us better understand, if you are going out of our comfort zone to do certain things for the pleasure of the Lord, for the pleasure of the devotees, then Krishna will be very pleased with our endeavor, right? So we've just recently launched our simplified version of the Bhishma Pachaka, right? So we have 9 tasks, right? Any 4, I believe, any 4 of the 9, if you do also, we will call out your names and chant Narasimha Kavacham prayers for you, right? But we want all the devotees to do all the 9 tasks if possible. We have simplified it as much as possible because there are 9 tasks. We've made it very simple, like 20 rounds of chanting Hare Krishna, 20 minutes of hearing, 20 minutes of Kirtan, 2 minutes of dancing in front of the deities, right? Very, very simple. We made it as minimal as possible so that we all complete all the 9 tasks. But at least we report, we take a sankalpa and report minimum 4 tasks completion on all the 4 days, 12th November, 13th November, 14th November, 15th November. Actually, I'm the admin of another group, which is more strict, because the person who's leading that group is very strict Vaishnava. So, it's a very, very, there you have to do, there also I like a bargained with that Prabhu. We have to make it a little more simpler so that more devotees are able to participate. Right? So we made it a little simpler, but our group, very, very simple. It's open for all. Please share this link with everybody, whomever you know, because if you're doing 4, it's very easy. 11 times writing Hare Krishna Mantra, 2 minutes dancing, offering Manasika, Bilva leaves, Java flowers. How long does it take? Hardly 2 to 3 minutes, right? So in this way, doing simple activities, we will do for the pleasure of Guru and Gauranga. We will have our names called out and Narasimha Kavacham prayers chanted for our protection. So all of this will happen if we simply take a sankalpa, join the WhatsApp group and report that on all the 4 days, I have done minimum 5 tasks, right? So that is all that we request of you. Please do this for the pleasure of Guru and Gauranga. We'll also report this to His Holiness Japa Swami Shri Guru Maharaj that devotees have performed so and so devotees. We will take a screenshot of the poll. All your wonderful names will be there. I would also request, please rename yourself properly. Namaskar symbol, wonderful Krishna, all of those things, we will not know your name, right? At least some of you I have saved as my contact, so I will know. But please save your names as Ramya Mataji or Sarva Gopeshwari Mataji, or, with your names, so that we know who you are, and, we can call out your names. And we also we'll report like that only. We are not going to type, so it'll only be what you have put in your WhatsApp name, whatever is your WhatsApp name, that's what we'll call out, and that's what is a list also that will be shared. So please do change your names to give your original names, and your bhava of remembering Krishna, wonderful Krishna, hearing about Krishna, speaking about Krishna, you can keep in your heart for now. After this, after the 16th of November, then you can rename yourself according to how you wish. All right, so let's go on to our verse for today. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.3. This is a very, very wonderful verse, right? This tells us that Srimad Bhagavatam is relishable not only for new people, right? We generally give Bhagavad Gita to people, tell them that, Bhagavad Gita is a very nice book. I have read it. It has helped me a lot. So it will help you also, right? And you also know that you also have to keep rereading Bhagavad Gita, right? Mahatma Gandhi also said that every time I read Bhagavad Gita, new realizations come to me, and all of my doubts on that particular day also get cleared if I read the Bhagavad Gita. So like this, these transcendental books are not books of physics, chemistry, biology. That ek baar pad liya, pass ho gaya to bas. I remember, as a science student, when I drew heart, my teacher told me it's looking like a kidney. Don't take science, she told me. So in the last 10th standard exam, when I gave the science paper, I was relieved. Oh my God, thank you. In my life, I don't have to study science again, right? But spiritual subject matters are not like that. So if we don't have interest, we need to develop interest, right? If we don't have interest in science, it's okay. We can take commerce, we can take arts, we can become chartered accountant, we can become, so many other professions are there, journalists and all that. But spiritual subject matters, we don't have a choice. If we don't have interest, you have to develop interest. You have to associate with those who have interest. And some or the other, yena kena prakarena mana Krishna niveshayat. And some or the other, then we associate with devotees, because it's not like a physics or a chemistry or a biology for which you don't have an inherent taste. But Krishna consciousness, we all have an inherent taste for it, but it is just lying dormant in our hearts. So we need to reawaken our love for Krishna. We need to reawaken our remembrance of Krishna. So in this way, studying of Srimad Bhagavatam enables us to remember Krishna, enables us to get taste in chanting Hare Krishna, enables us to perform devotional service for the pleasure of Krishna. So that's the reason we are studying Srimad Bhagavatam. So let's move on to Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.3. Yeah. Nigamakalpatarorgalitam phalam Shukamukhadamrita drava samyutam Pibatha Bhagavatam rasamalayam Muhuraho rasika Bhuvi bhavukaha Nigamakalpatarorgalitam phalam Shukamukhadamrita drava samyutam Pibatha Bhagavatam rasamalayam Muhuraho rasika Bhuvi bhavukaha Nigamakalpatarodgalitam phalam Shukamukhadamritadrava samyutam Pibatha Bhagavatam rasamalayam Muhuraho rasika Bhuvi bhavukaha. Okay, let's ask Anusha Mataji. Mataji can recite the verse, and then you can read the synonyms and the translation.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Synonyms: Nigama, the Vedic literatures; Kalpataro, the desired tree; Galitam, fully matured; Phalam, fruit; Shuka, Srila Sukadev Goswami, the original speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam; Mukhat, from the lips of; Amrita, nectar; Drava, semi-solid and soft and therefore easily swallowable; Samyutam, perfect in all respects; Pibata, do relish it; Bhagavatam, the book dealing in the science of eternal relation.
One second, Mataji, one second.
Yeah. The book dealing in the science of eternal relation with the Lord. Rasam, juice, that which is relishable. Alayam, until liberation or even in a liberated condition. Muho, always. Aho, oh. Rasikaha, those who are fully in the knowledge of mellows. Bhuvi, on the earth. Bhavukaha, expert and thoughtful. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O expert and thoughtful men, relish Srimad Bhagavatam, the mature fruit of the desired tree of Vedic literatures. It emanated from the lips of Sri Shukadeva Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful, although its nectarian juice was already relishable for all, including liberated souls. Purport. In the two previous
on our own. Okay, let's read the purport on our own as we meditate on this verse. And next Monday, when Anusha Mataji is telling the verse and the explanation of the verse, we would have already read the purport. All right. So, Nigama Kalpataror, Galitam Phalam. Galitam Phalam means Phalam is a fruit. Galitam Phalam is the most matured fruit. Shuka Mukat Amrita Drava Samhitam. Shuka is the parrot of Srimati Radharani. So, simply by this parrot pecking this fruit has become even more tasty. Right? Shuka, the parrot, has pecked the fruit Srimad Bhagavatam, because of which Bhagavatam, which was already narrated by Srila Vyasadeva, which was already very sweet, has become even more sweet. Right? Yabata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam. Rasamalayam. That means it is the, what do you call, Alayam means institution. Right? That means it's an epitome of Rasa. Right? Rasamalayam. Muraho Rasika. It is relishable not only for new people who are rearing it or reading it for the first time, right? But it is also relishable for the self-realized souls, right? So Shukadeva Goswami heard the entire Bhagavatam from Vyasadeva and he narrated the entire Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. And in the assembly was Suta Goswami. Suta Goswami didn't think, I have already learned the Bhagavatam. What is there to again tell and re-narrate the same Bhagavatam, right? No. So Suta Goswami again, when the sages of the Naimisharanya, Shaunaka Adi Rishis, asked him to narrate the Srimad Bhagavatam, again he was overjoyed to read and relish and narrate the Srimad Bhagavatam. So the Srimad Bhagavatam is relishable for all kinds of people, whether one is in Krishna consciousness, whether one is in Maya consciousness, whether one believes in Krishna, does not believe in Krishna, does not matter. But Srimad Bhagavatam in itself purifies us. The only condition is we have to read Prabhupada's Bhagavatam. And second, we have to go from one canto to another canto in the sequence of how it is given. Right? If you study the first canto properly, from first verse, from the preface, introduction, the first verse onwards, with Prabhupada's purports, definitely by the end of the first canto, we would have understood the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. Even if you don't know anything about Srimad Bhagavatam. That is the potency of Srila Prabhupada's transcendental purports. All right. So let's now move ahead with our Srimad Bhagavatam introduction. So let me share my screen. Devotees can also raise your hands and then we can continue with reading of Srimad Bhagavatam. All right. So yeah, let me quickly, give a kind of recap because it's been a week. So what are we reading now? We are reading in Srimad Bhagavatam introduction, the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Srila Prabhupada actually dedicates the Srimad Bhagavatam to his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who actually told Srila Prabhupada to go to the Western world to preach the English language about the message of Krishna consciousness. So following the instructions of his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada wrote the Srimad Bhagavatam first canto as a preparation so that he could go to the Western world and preach the message of Krishna consciousness. So it was completely Srimad Bhagavatam. Even Bhagavad Gita was not written by Prabhupada first. Right? It is only Srimad Bhagavatam that was first written by Prabhupada. Bhagavad Gita was printed much later in the Western world itself. The Macmillan Press. They actually published the Bhagavad Gita. But the first printed book was the first canto. Of course, it was Easy Journey to Other Planets was printed first. But in terms of the three books, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, we see that Srimad Bhagavatam first canto is the first book that got published, which Srila Prabhupada took with him. This book, Srimad Bhagavatam, is very, very dear to Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada himself says that in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, he has invested all of the spiritual potency. Because Prabhupada was old, Prabhupada didn't know how long he was going to live. So Prabhupada gave us everything in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam that he actually took as his hatyar, as his weapon to attack the Maya of the Western world and introduce Krishna consciousness and create Vrindavan and all around the world. So this is Srimad Bhagavatam, and in Aratya Bhagavan Rajeshatanayas Tadam Vrindavanam Ramya Kachit Upasana Vrajavadu Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam Prema Pumarto Mahan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam Tatra Dharana Para. So, it is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's opinion that Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam Prema Pumarto Mahan. Simply by studying of the Srimad Bhagavatam, we will be able to attain Krishna Prema. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam Tatra Dharanapara. There is no need for any other literature. There is no need for any other book. Simply the study of Srimad Bhagavatam can lead us to attaining the ways and means by which to attain Krishna Prema. And then we go ahead and study Nimai's pastimes, the childhood pastimes of Nimai, and then we also saw how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur actually delivered Jagai and Madai, and how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became angry because Madai took this bottle and threw it on the forehead of Nityananda Prabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got very angry. He brought the Sudarshan Chakra, and then immediately Nityananda Prabhu told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, "Oh Prabhu, Mahaprabhu, you have forgotten your mission. Right? In this avatar, you are not killing demons. In this avatar, you are actually killing the demoniac propensity that is there in the hearts of the people." Right? So in this way, by the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, what happens? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually delivers Jagai and Madai. So this is what we were reading, the deliverance of Jagai and Madai. So let's quickly continue. Let me share my screen and quickly let's continue this wonderful pastimes of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay. Yeah, so the pastime of Jagai and Madai continues. Okay, Karpagali Mataji, go ahead. The next day, Nityananda Prabhu went.
Am I audible, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
The next day, Nityananda Prabhu went to see the brothers. As soon as he approached them, one of them threw a piece of earthen pot at him. This struck him on the forehead and immediately blood began to flow. But Nityananda Prabhu was so kind that instead of protesting this heinous act, he said, "It does not matter that you have thrown the stone at me. I still request you to chant the holy name of Lord Hare." One of the brothers, Jagai, was astonished to see this behavior of Nityananda Prabhu, and he at once fell down at his feet and asked him to pardon his sinful brother. When Madai again attempted to assert Nityananda Prabhu, Jagai stopped him and implored him to fall down at his feet. In the meantime, the news of Nityananda's injury reached the Lord, who at once hurried to the spot in a fury and angry mood. The Lord immediately invoked his Sudarshan Chakra, the Lord's ultimate weapon, shaped like a wheel, to kill the sinners, but Nityananda Prabhu reminded of him of his mission. This mission of the Lord was to deliver the hopelessly fallen souls of Kali Yuga, and the brothers of Jagai and Madai are typical examples of these fallen souls. 90% of the population of this age resembles these brothers despite high birth and mundane respectability. According to the verdict of the revealed scriptures, the total population of the world in this age will be of the lower Sudra quality or even lower. It should be noted that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never acknowledged the stereotyped caste system by birthright. Rather, he strictly followed the verdict of the Shastras in the matter of one's Swarupa or real identity. When the Lord was invoking his Sudarshana Chakra and Srila Nityananda Prabhu was imploring him to forgive the two brothers, both of the brothers fell down at the lotus feet of the Lord and begged his pardon for their gross behavior. The Lord was also asked by Nityananda Prabhu to accept these repenting souls, and the Lord agreed to accept them on one condition, that they henceforth completely give up all their sinful activities and habits of debauchery. But both the brothers agreed and promised to give up all the sinful habits. The kind Lord accepted them and did not again refer to their past misdeeds. This is the specific kindness of Lord Chaitanya. In this age, no one can say that he is free from sin. It is impossible for anyone to say this. Lord Chaitanya accepts all kinds of sinful persons on one condition, that they promise not to indulge in sinful habits after being spiritually initiated by a bona fide spiritual master. There are a number of instructive points to be observed in this incident of the two brothers. In this Kali Yuga, practically all people are of the quality of Jagai and Madai. If they wanted to be relieved from the rejections of their mistakes, they must take shelter of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and after spiritual initiation, thus refrain from those things which are prohibited in Shastras. The prohibitory rules are dealt with within the Lord's teachings to Srila Rupa Goswami. During his household, the Lord. Thank you, Mati.
Hare Bol. Thank you, Hare Krishna. So, namno baladiyasya papa buddhihi. That means if we, just because we are chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, if we think that we can perform any sinful activities and we will be relieved of those sinful activities, then the holy name will not reveal the potential of the holy name will not be realized, right? That's what is mentioned here. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was willing to forgive Jagai and Madai on the request of Nityananda Prabhu, but the condition that Nityananda Prabhu told them was that you should not repeat your mistake, right? So we can commit new mistakes, we can get corrected, but we should not repeat our same mistakes. If you are repeating the same mistake, that means we are not serious. We are not very attentive to the instructions that have been given to us by our gurus, right? So that is the only thing. We have to repent for the mistakes done, and we have to be very careful not to repeat our mistakes, right? Now let's continue with more pastimes of Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, who's reading now? Yeah, Sarvagopeshwari Mataji, please read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. During his household life, the Lord did not display many of the miracles which are generally expected from such personalities. But he did once perform a wonderful miracle in the house of Srinivasa Thakur while Sangitna was in full swing. He asked the devotees what they wanted to eat. And when he was informed that they wanted to eat mangoes, he asked for a seed of a mango. Although this fruit was out of season, when the seed was brought to him, he sowed into the yard of Srinivasa. And at once the creeper began to grow out of the seed. Within no time, this creeper became full-grown mango tree, heavy with more ripened fruits than the devotees could eat. The tree remained in Srinivasa yard, and from then on, the devotees used to take as many mangoes from the tree as they wanted. The Lord had a very high estimation of the affection of the damsels of Brajabhumi, Vrindavana, for Krishna, and in appreciation of their unalloyed service to the Lord, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanted the holy names of gopis instead of the names of the Lord. At this time, some of his students who were also disabled came to see him. And when they saw that the Lord was chanting the names of the gopis, they were astonished. Out of sheer foolishness, they asked the Lord why he was chanting the names of the gopis and advised him to chant the name of Krishna. The Lord, who was in ecstasy, was thus disturbed by these foolish students. He chastised them and chased them away. The students were at almost the same age as the Lord, and thus they wrongly thought that the Lord was as one of the peers, equals. They held a meeting and resolved that they would attack the Lord if he dared to punish them again in such a manner. This incident provoked some malicious talk about the Lord on the part of the general public. When the Lord became aware of this, he began to consider the various types of men found in the society. He noted that especially the students, professors, fruity workers, yogis, non-devotees, and different types of atheists were all opposed to the devotional service of the Lord. My mission is to deliver all the fallen souls of this age, he thought. But if they commit offenses against me, thinking me to be an ordinary man, they will not benefit if they are to begin their life of spiritual realization. They must some way or another offer obeisances unto me. Thus the Lord decided to accept the renounced order of the sannyasa because people in general were inclined to offer respect to sannyasi. 500 years ago, the condition of the society was not as degraded as it is today. At that time, people would show respect to a sannyasi, and the sannyasi was rigid in the following the principles and regulation of the renounced order of life. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not very much in favor of the renounced order of life in the age of Kali. but that was only for the reason that very few sannyasis in this age are able to observe the rules and regulations of sannyasa life. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu decided to accept the order and become an ideal sannyasi so that the general populace would show him respect. One is duty bound to show respect to the sannyasi. For a sannyasi is considered to be the master of all varnas and ashramas. While he
Hare
was
Krishna. Thank you,
contemplating
Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So it's very wonderful here that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna himself, who's come in the mood of Srimati Radharani, why should he take sannyas? He's the Lord, right? Everything has to be done for his pleasure. So why should the Lord take up austerity? Why should the Lord take up sannyas? Sannyas is not an easy thing. You need to you not even plan for your next meal, right? A sannyasi is supposed to be a parivrajak acharya. That means he travels from one place to another, just remains there until the time of the milking of a cow. It's said to be one muhurta, and then he has to keep moving after telling the family or whoever whom he is visiting. He just have to tell them about Krishna, collect some funds or donations for Krishna, accept as charity whatever they give, and then keep moving, to spread the glory of Krishna wherever he is going, right? But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't have to do it, right? As a Supreme Personality of Godhead, everything happens by his will. So why did he take up this sannyas, right? He took up this sannyas because he's Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradhayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaur Tishve Namaha. This Gauranga Mahaprabhu, this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so much of a munificent incarnation that he didn't want people to disrespect him because he's a Lord. If people disrespect him, they will never progress in bhakti. So at that time, since people respected the sannyasis, although due to sentimental reasons, he at least offered obeisances to sannyasis. Because of that, to get some oral reception, to get people to hear from him, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took the sannyas order of life, right? And he took sannyas from Keshava Bharati. It's supposed to be a Mayavada school, Bharati, that designation. But yet he took because that was the prominent sannyas sampradaya or the sannyasa school at that time. So he took, but he did not take the name of Bharati, right? Generally, the sannyasis who are initiated under Bharati Parampara, they have this name, like Keshav Bharati, like that. They have that name. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, although he took sannyas from Keshav Bharati, he retained his name as Chaitanya, right? Sri Krishna Chaitanya. And in this way, he propagated the Harinama Sankirtan. And the name tag of being a sannyasi was only to get a hearing, to get people to hear from him about the glories of Lord Sri Krishna. That was the primary intent of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually having taken sannyas. So it was not about following the principles of Bharati or Mayavada school, but simply to get this sannyas order of life, so that he could actually get people to listen to him, to get people to listen to the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to get people to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That was the intent behind Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taking sannyas. Okay, so some more details are following as to whom he took sannyas from. Okay, who will read this now? Sindhu Mataji. Okay, go ahead. While he was contemplating.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams. Hare Krishna Prabhupada ki jai. While he was contemplating accepting the sannyasa order, it so happened that Keshava Bharati, a sannyasi of the Mayavada school and resident of Katha in Bengal, visited Navadvipa and was invited to dine with the Lord. When Keshava Bharati came to his house, the Lord asked him to award him the sannyasa order of life. This was a matter of formality. The sannyasa order is to be accepted from another sannyasi. Although the Lord was independent in all respects, still to keep up the formalities of the Shastras, he accepted the sannyasa order from Keshava Bharati, although Keshava Bharati was not in the Vaishnava Sampradaya school. After consulting with Keshava Bharati, the Lord left Navadvipa for Katha to formally accept the sannyasa order of life. He was accompanied by Srila Nityananda Prabhu, Chandrasekhara Acharya, and Mukunda Datta. These three assisted him in the details of the ceremony. The incident of the Lord's accepting the sannyasa order is very elaborately described in the Chaitanya Bhagavata by Srila Vrindavana Das Thakura. Thus, at the end of his 24th year, the Lord accepted the sannyasa order of life in the month of Magha. After accepting this order, he became a full-fledged preacher of the Bhagavata Dharma. Although he was doing the same preaching work in his householder's life, When he experienced some obstacles to his preaching, he sacrificed even the comfort of his home life for the sake of fallen souls. In his household life, his chief assistants were Srila Advaita Prabhu and Srila Srivas Thakura. But after he accepted the sannyasa order, his chief assistants became Srila Nityananda Prabhu, who was deputed to preach specifically in Bengal, and the six Goswamis, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Gopala Bhatta Goswami, Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, and Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami. Headed by Srila Rupa Goswami and Sanatana, who were deputed to go to Vrindavana to excavate the present places of pilgrimage. The present city of Vrindavana and the importance of Rajabhumi were thus disclosed by the will of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Lord, after accepting the sannyasa order, at once wanted to start for Vrindavana. For 3 continuous days, he traveled in the Radha Desha, places where the Ganges does not flow. He was in full ecstasy over the idea of going to Vrindavana. However, Srila Nityananda diverted his path and brought him instead to the house of Advaita Prabhu in Shantipura. The Lord stayed at Sri Advaita Prabhu's house for a few days, and knowing well that the Lord was leaving his earth and home for good, Sri Advaita Prabhu sent his men to Navadvipa to bring Mother Sachi to have a last meeting with her son. Some unscrupulous people say that Lord Chaitanya met his wife also after taking sannyasa and offered her his wooden slippers for worship, but the authentic sources give no information about such a meeting. His mother met him in the house of Advaita Prabhu, and when he saw her son in sannyasa, she lamented. By the way of compromise, she requested her son to make his headquarters in Puri so that she would easily be able to get the information about him. The Lord granted this last desire of his beloved mother. After this incident, the Lord started for Puri, leaving all the incidents of residents of Navadvipa in an ocean of lamentation over his separation.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas from Keshav Bharati, then when he met his mother like any of a mother, the mother's love for the son, the son is taking up. We've heard of many brahmacharis also narrate their stories how their parents were so much against when they actually took up the brahmachari ashram, but later on after they were practicing for many years, and in this way they were taking care of their parents also, and they were also doing their Sanatana Dharma very nicely, the preaching activities and everything. Then what happened? The parents also become favorable. The parents also take up the process of Krishna consciousness, right? So it is not that everyone has to take up sannyas. No, actually, even in here, Prabhupada actually mentions that in this age of Kali, there are certain things that are prohibited. And one of them is to take sannyas. So why is it prohibited? Because it is very difficult to follow the principles of sannyas, right? And also, it is very easy to follow the principles of sannyas even being situated in the Grahastha ashram or a Brahma ashram or a Vanaprastha ashram, right? So what we need to do is Yat karoshi yad ashnashi yad juhoshi jadasiyat yat tapashyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. If we perform all our activities for the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then already we are practicing the principles of sannyas. Even though we may be situated in any varana or any ashrama, it does not really matter, right? As long as we are following the the principles of sannyas, then we need not actually take up the sannyas ashram, right? But here we see how the Lord himself, he took sannyas just to deliver the people of this world. And when his mother asked him, please stay in Navadvip, right? I mean, please stay in, set up your headquarters in Jagannath Puri, right? Because Navadvip is the place where he appeared, and he wanted to go to Vrindavan Dham. His mother requested to at least be in Jagannath Puri, so that at least we know your whereabouts, how are you, how you are, what are you doing, like what are your activities, etc. We'll come to know. Because Prabhupada explains in one of the lectures that Navadvip and Jagannath Puri are like the 2 rooms of a home. So there is easy accessibility for Shachi Mata to even get to know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the instruction of Shachi Mata, and he went to Jagannath Puri, where he would spend his last 24 years, right? In 48 years that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the earthly Leela continued for 48 years. The last 24 of the 48 years, 50% of his life, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually spent in Jagannath Puri. So what are the pastimes in Jagannath Puri? We will read tomorrow. Tomorrow is Tuesday. We'll continue with our Srimad Bhagavatam introduction, and we'll also revise 1.1.3 if time permits. And then we will continue with Krishna book study on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So now devotees are requested to switch on your cameras, and quickly we'll do Harinam Sankirtan. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirviशेष शून्यवादी अष्टत्यादिशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Gaur Nitai Jai Jai Jagannath Jai Jai Baladev Jai Jai Subhadra Jaya Jai Sudarshan Jai Bala Gopal Jai Radha Krishna Jai Radha Shyam Sundar Jaya Radha Madhav Jai Radha Shyam Sundar Jai Radha Ras Bihari Jai Radhe Radhe Jayo Radhe Radhe Jayo Radhe 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 Jaya Shri Radhe Jaya Jaddo Swami Jaya Guru Parampara Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Guru Deva Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Prabhupada Gurudev ki jai Anand Koti Vaishnava Vrind ki jai Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol Hare Krishna. So we are able to see Karpavali Mataji, Harjit Mataji, Nisha Mataji, Anusha Mataji, and Pranab Prabhu, Sarvagopeshwari Mataji, Ramya Mataji, Nisha Mataji, Srimati, Shamapriya Mataji, and all the devotees. Ramya Mataji, thank you very much for joining in. All the devotees were not switching on your cameras. Thank you for joining in. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrind ki jai, Srila Prabhupada Gurudev ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. So the verse that we're going to meditate for this week is 1.1.3, and next week Anusha Mataji will be reciting the verse and explain that verse for us, and then we'll start with the next verse, right? So we'll be sharing the verse at the end of the session today, and then we can continue with our study and meditation for this week. Tomorrow we'll continue at 11 o'clock for our Srimad Bhagavatam introduction continuation. And of course, we meet at 5 a.m. for our Brahmamurta chanting session. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai Shri Gurudev ki, Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Tomorrow is Bhishma Panchaka starting, Ekadashi. Tomorrow we'll have a regular Ekadashi session, which is an extended session, about 1.5 hours, where we'll read Ekadashi Mahatmya. We will study Bhagavad Gita introduction. We are still on the introduction of the Bhagavad Gita. We'll continue that. And then we'll study our next 2 verses of Bhagavad Gita, and then we will sing the beautiful song Yashomati Nandana Brajabaro Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana. Right? Krishna does so much amorous pastimes that everyone is entertained by Krishna in Vrindavan Dham. So we will sing that song Yashomati Nandana, and then we will do 1 round of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and we'll also take additional sankalpa for the next 4 days. So this time in the Ekadashi group, we will not open it up because we need to perform 4 out of the 9 tasks that we've given. So we'll put a poll. Every day there will be a poll where you can mention that you have performed all the 9 of the 9 tasks, or you've completed at least 4 of the 9 tasks of the Bhishma Panchaka for the particular day. On 16th, we will put a poll where we will ask you for 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th task completion. So based on that, we will call out your names and we will chant the Narasimha Kavacham prayers for your protection. So please do join us for this Bhishma Panchaka Vrata and take Sankalpa and perform this for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada, Shri Guru and Gauranga, Shri Radha and Krishna. Thank you very much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Srila Gurudev ki, Jai Anandakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Jai Nitai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.